Welcome to Without Bias.
Apia, the go-to insurance for retirees. Call 1350 50. Get set, go.
Local legends want it. A bowls green is just up the road. Search Bowls Club near me.
Yes, indeed. Very good evening and welcome to another edition of Without Bias, our dedicated lawn bowl show, part of the Sporting Capital on SEM. We dive into the wonderful world of lawn bowls and it's an exciting time. Our Jackaroos have jetted off to get their preparations underway over in the UK, with Birmingham starting on the 28th of July, the Com Games for 2022. Coming up later in the show, we're going to speak to the Australian Open Under-18 boys singles champ, Joseph Clarke. But before that, a lady who knows all too well what it takes to win gold at a Com Games, because she's got two of them. Former Jackaroo and just all-round superstar, Carla Krizanic is with us. Local Legends Wanted, search Bowls Clubs near me. Proudly brought to you by Apia, who are proudly supporting Bowls Australia. Our Jackaroos chat this week for Right at Home, the official naming rights partner of the Australian Jackaroos. Carla, hello.
Hello, Sam. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Oh, look, thank you for jumping on. I'm rapt that we were able to catch up with you tonight, given what's ahead for our Jackaroos, and not many are as well placed as you to be able to take us inside what's happening for them right now. They've just headed off to the UK. I've been following a fair few of them on Instagram. Of course, Barry Lester, the most prolific on the gram, but feel like I know exactly where they're at in their travels. What can you tell us about what's going on for them in their minds as they're sitting on the plane or probably about to disembark and start on the ground in the UK?
Yeah, well, I heard that they had quite a few delays on actually getting out of the country. So I bet for all of them that was super frustrating, because I know for myself, when I headed over to Glasgow and even up to just the Gold Coast for the Com Games there, like, getting on the plane is the part when it all becomes real. Like, you know, the team gets announced and you have all the celebrations and things of making the team, but it's when you get to the airport and you're actually going that it all really sinks in that it's happening and that the games are literally just around the corner. So I'm sure the players were all full of so much excitement and a bit of, anxiety as well. And then to get delayed just sort of, makes that all a bit bigger and a bit more scary. But, they're on the plane now and I think they've almost landed, I presume. They'll hit the ground running. So I think they're all pretty excited. All the ones I've spoken to are extremely excited.
It's been fascinating seeing what they've done in the warm-ups. Obviously, we had the Australian Open, which is great preparation to be able to bowl against the very best. But we're also with Mount Tambourine fixing a green to replicate as best it can the slower conditions of the UK greens and the Birmingham greens that our Jackaroos are set to roll out on. What awaits them in the build-up? They're heading over a couple of weeks early. So what do you understand to be the build-up for them before competition gets underway?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. They're going to get there a couple of weeks earlier. It gives them a chance, number one, just to settle in to the team environment. All the players know each other well, but it's a big change, living with the team. So it gives them a chance to settle into that. Obviously, the greens are a lot different, and they've had chances to play on slow greens here, but you still want to get really familiar with the conditions over there. So the 2 weeks give them a good chance to settle in, learn the conditions, but not have to go full on the greens all day. That long period of time gives them a chance to, half a day here, half a day there. And I have no doubt in tradition we usually do a few bonding things as well, which is always fun for the team, to get to know each other a little bit better and to have a few laughs and not take things too serious before you get into the village and it's all actually happening.
So from your own perspective, obviously you'd remember that coming into 2018, Australia with a form team and the team to beat, you got 2 golds at that game. So 4 years on, it makes sense that Australia will be the team to beat again. Do they come into this Com Games with a bit of a target on their back? Are they the team that you're going to have in your sights if you're going to claim gold?
Yeah, look, I think we all, as Australian players, we know that most of the other countries, they sort of go out there wanting to beat us. We're, I guess, being probably the strongest country over the years. Particularly the women, we've had quite strong results over the last couple of years. But we know that. But we also have, there's a few countries that we're sort of always keeping our eye on, trying to make sure we get on top of those. So all the players will know that everyone's out there to beat them, but they're also out there to beat everybody else. So it all equals out, I guess, in the end.
You made the decision to withdraw from selection for the games, yourself and Kelsey Cottrell. How tough a call was that to make?
Extremely tough. I obviously love playing for Australia. I love playing bowls. I still feel like I've got a lot to give, and I actually really love playing on the slow track. So Birmingham seemed like a real goal for me 2 years ago, but then I ended up having 2 children in amongst it. So, look, it's a hard decision to make, but at the end of the day, I've got a 6-month-old, and as you can hear, I've got a 2-year-old trying to get my attention right now. I just, it wasn't in my heart to be able to leave them. And I think Kelsey's the same in that, if you can't give 100% in your preparation, then you're not doing justice for the team. And I knew that I couldn't give 100% with a newborn. And the girls that have made the team, they've been out there playing everything. They've been training their butts off. And so they're going to get over there and they're going to perform well. And I just knew with a little baby, you can't do that. So sometimes you've got to, put other things first. And I'm just looking forward to cheering them on now. I know they're going to go well, and I know they've done all the hard prep. And hopefully it all just falls into place for them. And the best thing about bowls is you're not too old, so there's plenty of time for me to come back and have another crack, hopefully in the future, if I can get back in the team.
Have you managed to get a bowl into the youngest one's hands yet?
So my 2-year-old Axel, he does come down a little bit to the club. We've had a school holiday bowl thing on at Club Sunbury over the last couple of weeks, and he's been my little sidekick. He's not quite into the full-size bowl yet. He needs 2 hands for that, but he loves to roll the jack around. And he does have this really big obsession with the markers that we use for the back of the rink when the ball goes in the ditch. The ones at Club Sunbury are golf balls. So I'm hoping his obsession with those are that he's actually into golf. But I don't know. We'll see.
Beautifully done. Hey, how much time with that commitment you mentioned, it wasn't possible for you to commit fully to the Jackaroos. So how much can you dedicate to training at the moment?
Yeah, well, I think my training's it's changed a lot since before I had children. Like I used to be able to go down anytime I want, spend a couple hours on the green, and stop and have lunch and back out and spend a bit more time on the green. Whereas now with kids, obviously, I might only have 45 minutes, or if I take the youngest down in the pram, he's pretty good. He's happy to watch, but it's sort of, 40 minutes is the max. So it's actually in some ways helped my training, because I think I go down now, okay, I've got to achieve this. I've only got a short period of time, and I just really focus while I'm there, because I know that's the only time I can get down there for that week. So it's been bizarre in that some ways it's actually probably helped me focus a bit more on purposeful training and getting the most out of it when I'm there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been a successful year for you. Carla Krizanic is our first guest on Without Bias, thanks to Right at Home, the official naming rights partner of the Australian Jackaroos. You won the Australian Champion of Champions in April, being just the second woman actually to win the event twice. So it's clearly working for you. What did that victory mean to you?
Yeah, look, so we got delayed, obviously. It was the 2021. So I was actually supposed to play it when I was pregnant with my youngest Harley. So it all ended up a bit different. Instead, I was up there with him. He would have been 4 months old when we were up there. So, it ended up being different to how I expected playing it. But, I just really enjoyed the event. I enjoy getting out on the green now. My mum was up and my dad were up there helping me look after the little ones. So once I'm out there, I could just concentrate on the game. And I always enjoyed playing on Broad Beach greens. I mean, who doesn't? We had heaps of rain, and so in some ways that kind of helped me. I do sort of like the slower track anyway. So I just got out there and, had a crack, and it all fell into place for me in the end.
A month further on, Melbourne Extreme had a great run at the BPL. You reached the final in Brizzy. Unfortunately, falling to the crosstown rivals in the Melbourne Pulse. You had to pull out of the tournament not well, but that event, I mean, it just goes from strength to strength to strength, and it is doing great things in the world of lawn bowls.
Yeah, the BPL, you can ask any player or any person that goes up to watch or watches on the tally, like it really is just a great spectacle of bowls. We all love playing it. Obviously, for me, Melbourne Extreme is owned by my club, Club Sunbury, so there's that extra little incentive playing for them. Love playing with Maddie and Ali. They've been so much fun. And I think that really showed on the greens at the last BPL. Obviously, we were quite successful making the finals. Unfortunately for me, the good old COVID bug finally caught up to me at the wrong time. But we're lucky enough that Jessica Tell, she stepped in for me, and she was brilliant. She just, had no qualms at all about jumping on the green with big guns, and yet she played really well. So I was really glad that she was able to jump in and it made me feel a bit better. I was feeling like I really let the team down, but she played her role well, and they got to the final. And unfortunately, of course, Melbourne Pulse just jumped them in the tiebreaker. But yeah, it's such a great event, and I love trying to promote it and people who haven't seen it before to watch it, because it really just shows what a great sport bowls is, and you can see all the players having so much fun, and the spectators get into it with the singing and the hoorahing, and yeah, it's definitely my favourite event on the calendar, so looking forward to the next one as well.
Always great to catch up with you, Carla, and appreciate your time and your insights too about how Jackaroos are probably feeling ahead of what they're facing in the 2022 Com Games. We can't wait for that to get underway, and I'm sure we'll speak to you either before, during or after. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. And yeah, I can't wait to see them go well. See the Aussies up on the podium it'll be great. And yeah, they deserve to go good. They've put so much hard work in, and it's been such a challenge with COVID and all the restrictions. But they've got out there and trained hard, and yeah, hopefully all the hard work comes to fruition and we see some medals come home.
Carla, we'll speak to you soon. Thank you.
This is Without Bias.
Apia, the go-to insurance for retirees. Call 13 50 50. Get set, go. Local legends wanted. A bowls green is just up the road. Search Bowls Club near me.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back to Without Bias, our dedicated lawn bowls show on the sporting capital, all for Bowls Australia. Local legends wanted, search bowls clubs near me, and for Apia, proudly supporting Bowls Australia. It was great to catch up with Carla Krizanic. If you missed any of that chat, the two-time gold medal winning Jackaroo, not going to Birmingham, but gave us great insight into what our team can expect heading over. They're on the plane right now as we speak. It'll be all up on the podcast. But now joining us, the Australian Open Under-18 Boys Singles Champion, Joseph Clarke's been good enough to have a yarn to us on Without Bias. Hello, Joseph.
Hey, mate, how you going?
Now, Joseph, my full name is Samuel, but I only get Samuel if I'm in trouble. Are you Joseph? Are you Joe? Or what do you go by?
I get around the bowls world. I'm Joey a lot.
Joey. All right, we'll stick with that if that's how you want to roll. All good by me. Hey, congratulations, back to back boys titles at the Australian Open. What an honour! It must mean the world to you.
Yeah, it does. It's awesome to compete against boys your own age and play blokes that you don't get to play every day of the week at your own club and expand around the whole of Australia. To win that it means a lot, really, to be honest. And to do it 2 in a row as well was good because first year Victoria wasn't in the Aussie Open, so to get back to back is pretty good as well. Just to just affirm to myself that I was good enough to win it when Victoria was in it as well.
Hey, it was a pretty tough final against Jack McShane. You had to come from behind. He got off to a really good start. You were able to get back into it and then stretch ahead. How difficult was it to problem solve? What did you have to go through mentally to work your way back in and then to get to where you did in the end?
Yeah, so during the game, there's a few specific stages. It was just problem solving in terms of just shot selection. The most specific one I can remember is it was 16-14. I picked up a 3, and he had shot, and there was about a metre and a bit to draw, and his bowl was worth 3. So just in terms of problem solving, should I go to the bowl or should I just draw a shot? I decided to go to the bowl and got that, which got me a 3 because he missed the draw. There was a few stages where I had to make some significant decisions on what weight I'm going to play. I felt the more numbers I'm holding, the more pressure on him, and that would force him to make a couple of mistakes, which luckily he did at some stage. And there's a lot of problem solving mentally, just trying to mentally get back into the game because he was jumping ahead there at the start, 9-3. There's a few instances where I just had to have a little drink and just re-engage, and that was the biggest problem solving I did, just checking in myself mentally, making sure I'm in it.
Well, brilliantly done. It's a fair bit of pressure, and you've got to roll the dice and sort of have the courage to stick with the call and and the decision to go with having to securing points. It was a gutsy one, and it paid off in the end. Were you feeling the pressure as defending champ?
No, not at all. It's funny. The night before, all my mates messaged me, and what are your chances? They asked me, and I honestly told them. I said, look, I honestly reckon that it's going to be a really tough game, and I honestly thought that he was honestly expected, or not expected, but I had that mindset that that he was supposed to beat me, like from a Sydney area. That's the mindset I have. Anyone from Sydney area is expected to beat someone from Cost. That's just my mindset anyway, and I guess I went into it with that mindset, and I didn't really feel as if, because I was a defending champion, that I walked into that as a favourite or anything. I kind of felt like, if anything, he was favoured, I guess. I don't know, but I kind of went with that underdog mindset still, even though I was defending. But no, I didn't really feel that pressure at all, to be honest.
To credit to you, last year we saw your school all get involved. They were on board watching the final via the Zoom. They give you great support. How much of that have you received throughout your bowls career so far, whether it be from school and friends and family? They tend to get around you.
Oh, so much. Like as you said, the whole school watched last year. This year, Year 12 watched it in the hall. Just awesome from a school level. They provide so much support and moving around assignments for all my bowlers and all that constantly, and they provide heaps of support. On a personal level, my dad, Peter, he since a young age getting me into bowls, and it's a bit of a real batting handoff. He got me to a point where I was in a position to win something like this, and Corey Daly from our area took me under his wing and is taking me to this level of bowls. And then my coach Paul Sullivan from our area, now he done so much with my delivery, and it's looking good at the moment. And now he's taken me further. It's that support has been significant. Really, I really couldn't do it without him. And support from my mum as well, coming down and watching, and just family support when I come home. Like, they love it, and it really makes me want to keep doing it. Really, it's just incredible amount of support.
You're going to go into the open ages now, so it's a big step up from juniors to men's. How excited are you, and where are the confidence levels that you've got with the game to compete with the very best?
Yeah, I'll take a bit of confidence out of what I've been able to do in the under-18s bracket, but it's completely different. I'm very excited to focus on it, because usually the ones I circle on the calendar are the under-18s events that I thought I was a big chance of, getting a good result. But now going into the men's, it's a lot harder. There's a lot of great bowlers around, and I think I've just got to take what I've been able to do in under-18s and just develop even more. And I should be able to go up to men's events, where it'd be 2-3 years, and be very competitive, and hopefully start winning those things in the future.
Absolutely.
We'll wait and see.
Absolutely. Set the bar high, my man. You've dominated it at junior level. Let's keep it going in the open ages, and I'm sure all the people around Coffs Harbour and the Park Beach Bowls Club, of which you remember, are going to be cheering you on every step of the way. And, of course, all the crew at John Paul College as well, mate. Hey, thanks so much for being with us on Without Bias, and good luck for the rest of the year and for the rest of what I'm sure will be a successful bowls career.
Thanks, mate. Really appreciate you having me on.
Very good, man. There's just a great insight into the future of Australian bowls. The boys under 18 singles champion for the second year in a row at the Australian Open, Joseph Clarke. That's it from us on Without Bias. If you missed anything, Carla Krizanic, Joey Clarke, it's all up on the Without Bias podcast page, sen.com.au for Bowls Australia. Local legends wanted a Bowls Greens just up the road. Search Bowls Clubs near me. Make sure you get out and about. AP at the go-to insurance for retirees. Call 1350 50. Get set, go. That's it from us on Without Bias. Stick around though. Sporting Capital continues on the other side of this.